So welcome back to Left versus Right, another episode. Anthony Weiner on your left, Dominic Carter on your right. Well, I'm glad there's nothing going on in New York City this week for us to talk about. Here it is, Memorial Day weekend. Let's begin by paying tribute to all of those who made sacrifices for our country. May we keep them in our prayers all weekend.
That is perhaps the only thing we're going to agree on this hour, because, you know, it is really beneath you, Mr. Weiner, considering that you lose the argument, the debate every week, that you punched me in my eye.
First of all,
beneath you.
It's a good thing it's radio. Most of our listeners can't see that you have a little work done. But listeners to my show know I've had eye operations also.
Right.
And for years we have known you don't see things clearly. So I'm not really sure if there's much news here.
What's that song? I can see clearly now the rain is gone.
So Donald Trump takes New York. He took your advice. You have a pipeline into that guy. He took your advice. You saw him do that little stop in Harlem while he was at the trial. He did a rally in the Bronx.
Stop in Harlem.
Right, he did a rally in the Bronx.
Okay.
So what do you think? Maybe New York's in play. Maybe he should spend a lot of time here. Maybe New York will vote for Donald Trump.
Of course, New York is in play, and you can wipe the sarcasm off your face.
I'm being serious.
For the people that that can't see you. I believe the same thing was said about Reagan before he actually won New York.
Oh, yeah.
True or not?
This is the party of Reagan, no doubt about it. Come on, cut it out.
But wait. Notice this. Rather than giving the man his props for doing the impossible, you're immediately jumping to the argument of, this is what you're basically saying. The rally was a waste of time.
I haven't said anything yet. I love the rally.
What you're basically saying is the rally was a waste of time. Governor Hoke was correct to call Trump supporters clowns.
Stop with the straw man.
For coming to the Bronx. Just give the man some credit.
Stop it. You're setting up a straw man and burning him down. I totally love him coming here. I just said that.
Why did you say that? No, you didn't say you loved him. No, you didn't.
No, I said I love him coming to New York. I said that's great. Joe Biden should do well.
So get on. No, not Biden right now. Not Biden right now, Trump. I want you, do me a favor.
Go ahead.
The audience knows that I can accurately assess what Trump did with that remarkable event.
Remarkable?
Yes.
Well, let's get to it.
Is it possible? Wait. Is it possible for you to do the same?
Look,
and give
I am so
credit?
glad he was there. He brought in a lot of guys named Bubba wearing cowboy hats to come in and stand in front of him.
Oh, my God.
He was meandering around like he was here, like I'm a half-drunk Uncle Irving at Thanksgiving.
Oh, my
God.
God.
But God bless him. He came to New York. By the way, I thought this trial...
So you can't give him credit. That's the bottom line.
What am I doing right now? I'm giving him credit.
You just said he brought people to town that are named Bubba.
What's the matter with that?
The last time I checked, he had rappers on stage.
Oh, let's...
He had... we'll get to the rappers. He had community activists on stage.
Did he? I missed that.
He had the Reverend Ruben Diaz Sr. on stage.
Oh, yeah.
That gets a lot of credit.
Talk about a guy that's not in touch with the mothership.
Wait, the Bronx is predominantly Latino, followed by African American.
I know. You said Reverend Diaz. Reverend Diaz has no credibility.
Let me finish. He has no credibility.
Agree or disagree?
Reverend Ruben Diaz Sr., followed by his son Junior, who was the Bronx Borough president at one time. Wait. Senior is a remarkable leader that has built more wait a minute, Mr. Weiner. Has built more housing in the South Bronx than anybody I know.
Why are you changing the subject from Trump?
I'm not changing. No, I want...
Let's talk about Trump.
But you said Trump brought a bunch of people named Bubba.
Look, I saw that crowd.
But can you give them... Can you...
They brought gangster convict rappers from Brooklyn, for crying out loud. They couldn't even get local rappers. It's the home of rap, for crying out loud. Bring some local rappers. Well, let me ask you something.
Wait. So you're not going to give Trump any credit?
I keep saying over and over again, good for him for having that amazing rally. It was comedy from beginning to end. It was a bunch of guys named Bubbas in cowboy hats. It was great. God bless him. How much credit do you want?
Come on, man.
Why do we look at what he said?
We have to be honest at some point.
What did he say? Let's look at what he said.
Anthony.
I'm being honest.
Listen, if Biden does something good, I will always call a spade a spade. Can Biden draw the same? You said a bunch of Bubbas came to, which is insulting. But,
why?
But
he brought in a bunch of guys.
First of all, there were plenty
people from the Bronx.
How do you know what black and Latino people in the Bronx look like?
I know that people in the Bronx generally.
That's a stereotype. That's a stereotype
Yes.
that Democrats
Admittedly.
go to. No.
I admit it.
Trump didn't bring black and Latino people to the Bronx.
I admit it.
He
It's
didn't
a
bring them to the rally.
stereotype.
So then, wait, Mr. Weiner, with much love, explain to me, what do black, quote unquote, black and Latino people act like and look like?
They don't.
How do
They don't wear.
Are
They
they
don't.
only good for Democrats
They
to
don't
use
drive
completely?
pickup trucks, wear cowboy hats,
I didn't
and
see
have
a-
names like
I-
Bubba.
I didn't see a single pickup truck
There were a lot
at
of
that
pickup
rally.
trucks. There were a lot of pickup. It's fine. It's
so,
fine.
So you're
It's
telling me
fine.
there were no people of color?
I'm not saying there were none.
Blacks, no
There were a
Hispanics.
couple of rappers on stage from Brooklyn.
Come on, man.
There were a couple of rappers on stage from
Come
Brooklyn.
on, Anthony. You know I like you, but don't
You
do
saw
this.
that crowd, Dominic.
Come
I
on,
love
man.
you, brother.
Don't do this.
You
Don't
saw
do
that
this.
crowd. Was that a Bronx
Anthony,
crowd?
Can you give the man some credit?
You keep saying that. I'm giving him credit
Okay,
for having
could
the rally.
Could Biden pull off the same?
Could Biden pull off what? That kind of meandering, rambling craziness?
No,
Would
no.
Biden have a couple of
Excuse me. If I were you, I would not mention craziness in the current president of the United States. Hey, President Kamala Harris,
But
how
a
are you
rally-
doing today? The actual president calls you president as recent as, what, 72
But a
hours
rally
ago
is
at
about
that event
But
with the
isn't a
president of
rally
Kenya?
okay? Isn't a rally about the crowd, but also isn't about what the words of the man said?
But no,
Let's talk about the words
we
of
can
the
get
man
to the
said.
words. Could Biden pull off
First,
the
we
same?
have to translate
Could
them.
Biden pull off the same in the Bronx?
Sure. Yeah, of course. Oh, we didn't pull off the same.
In terms
a couple
of
of thousand
crowd
people.
size, yeah. So tell me
Totally.
when's the last time President
He's
Biden...
busy being president because he
Excuse me,
beat your guy like a rented mule.
When's
He beat your loser president by a rented mule.
When's the last time Mr. Biden... Notice I didn't even respond to beat my loser president.
I'm just saying, he's the president. He's busy holding state dinners.
Okay, so if he's so
Passing
busy,
laws.
and if he beat my loser president,
Yeah.
quote unquote, my president, and Trump was my president, just like President Biden is my president.
Yeah.
And so if Mr. Biden has got everything going on, right, why are there so many rules with the upcoming debate, which Biden gets to call all the shots because he's the incumbent? Why are there so many rules?
He's not. You know why he can call all the shots? Because
Why?
Donald Trump said anytime, any place, anytime, anywhere.
No.
So Joe Biden said, okay, at these places, at this time, and this is the way we're going to do it.
Right.
That's why.
And we're
because
gonna-
your
we're gonna-
guy
we're gonna
can't shut his mouth.
So we're going to shut off mics. We're going to sit.
Yeah.
We're going to sit.
We're gonna follow
on
rules.
chairs. We're going to sit on chairs. Wait a minute. Why
gonna
is it
sit on
necessary
chairs.
to sit on chairs? When's the last presidential debate you saw with the
One of the
candidates?
best ones I've ever seen is Clinton, Obama. They were sitting in chairs in New Hampshire. It was a great debate.
And
We're
how many
civilized.
years ago was that,
You and I
Mr.
do
Weiner?
it. You and I do it.
Right, but
if
you
it's
and-
good enough
but
for
you-
us,
but you
that's
and
why
I-
they did it, by the
but-
way. They saw us.
Right, but you and I could easily get from behind these chairs and stand up. The only reason why we're sitting down is because this is the way the tech people have set it up.
I don't know. I think both guys have trouble standing up.
Trump,
You ever see Trump does that thing where he leans forward? Here, I'm going to show it to our YouTube viewers.
Trump-
He stands like this the whole time.
Right.
Yeah, let me make sure the camera got it. He's like this.
I do believe in the
By the way-
Bronx. I do believe in the Bronx. He went on straight for 2 hours.
Oh, my God, straight. Let's
For 2
talk
hours,
about it.
delivering
Straight?
a remarkable speech.
Yeah, let's talk about the remarkable speech.
Notice he did what Democrats don't do. When Democrats, we're gonna put it all out right here and now, right? Normally,
You've been holding back up to now?
Yes, I've been holding back. Normally with Democrats, right? When I embrace Democrats, from
Right.
your friend Bill de Blasio, hey Dominic, what's going on? And he gives me the black handshake. Excuse me, Mr. de Blasio, you're not black. Democrats do that all the time.
What about-
No. And you know I moderated the debate with Hillary Clinton. I like Hillary Clinton.
Good.
Hillary Clinton goes on a black program radio station and goes, oh, I have my hot sauce in my
Politicians
bag.
pandering
I
is a
have my
thing.
hot
Is that
sauce."
news for you, the politicians?
No,
What
no,
about
but-
Donald Trump talking about the gold teeth of the rappers on stage? That was embarrassing.
Why was that embarrassing?
Because the same way you're talking, it's
No, that-
awkward
that
when people
wasn't-
try to connect with when politicians
you
pander.
do know Mr. Trump resonates and connects with rappers more than any living politician.
Why
you
is
do know that.
Because he gives them pardons.
No.
Yes, buddy.
No.
Yes,
That's
I get
not
it.
why.
By the way,
But
his first step back. Yeah, I'm going to say something nice about Trump.
I've been in his
I'm going to say
office.
something
Let me
nice
just-
about
I'm gonna
Trump.
let you do it. Let me just say
Okay,
this
go
to
ahead.
you. Let me just, you mentioned pardons. One of those pardons went to Lil Wayne. Do you know I've been in the office with Mr. Trump before he was elected, and Lil Wayne calls him, and they talk the same way. Me and you, I'm not going to go into their private conversation, but they talk the same way that me and you would talk.
Fair enough.
So that's not.
I want to give Donald Trump credit.
No. So
Let me
you
give
tell
Donald-
me one Democrat that resonates with rappers.
Let me give Donald Trump credit.
Yeah,
One
I
of the
knew that
reasons-
you lost that one. So audience, notice Carter 15.
What were you doing?
Weiner,
All right,
0.
I was basically letting you make that point, and I was going to move on to something.
Right, because you have nothing to say
No,
here.
I do. I want to say something nice about Donald Trump.
Can you respond, though, to what I just said about
Barack
Trump?
Obama.
Barack Obama.
Had a connection with rappers.
Yeah, it wasn't better than Trump's connection.
Yeah, it is.
No, it isn't. Based on what? Says what? Says who? What you're really saying is because Obama was black.
Yes, there you go. That is what I'm saying.
Okay, but
Yes,
what I am
that is what
telling
I'm
you,
saying.
but I am telling you, don't get red. I am telling you that Trump.
When I'm stuck being the voice of the black community on this debate, it's awkward for me. That's all.
Right, but right now I'm being the voice of the black community, and I happen to be black.
Right,
I happen to have grown up in the Bronx, and I happen to have lived in the South Bronx, and I happened to attend PS 70 right on.
You have unimpeached credibility. If you gave a rally in the Bronx, they get 20,000 people. But let me just make this point.
How many would Biden get?
Biden would get 100,000 because he's the president,
and
we love him.
So how can we never see rallies with him with 100,000 people?
Because he's the president. Presidents
but he holds rallies. And what do they do?
What rally is the president on? He doesn't do rallies.
When the president holds a rally, they put it in a room smaller than this so that they can show 50 people
and have
it look in front of the camera like it's a large
Donald Trump is a cult leader. Joe Biden is a president. Yes, their followers react differently. Joe Biden's followers go to work, they pay their bills, they vote.
Be careful.
They vote.
Careful.
Donald Trump's supporters, a lot of them are members of a cult.
Oh, come on, Mr. Weiner. Mr. Weiner, are you serious?
I am.
Do you realize how you just offended half the country?
No. I didn't say all of them. People at this rally, those are cult followers.
There were black and brown people at that rally.
I want to say people that show up. Actually, I shouldn't say that. A lot of people show up because they don't know what the heck this guy's going to say. It's kind of like entertainment. It's like going to a carnival.
Okay.
And by the way, are we ever going to talk about what he said at the rally?
Okay, we can get to that, but you won't answer. So you said the president will get a bigger crowd. So he's had a few events.
Yes, he gets.
And the crowd is never there. He went before the NAACP.
What about the crowd on election day on 2020?
Wait, let's backtrack. That was one historic time.
Yes, it was historic time where he beat your guy, a loser who's lost the popular vote twice.
That was one historic time. So now, what about what happened in Detroit last weekend, right? You got to know the Biden White House is like, oh my God, I wish the president didn't accept that Freedom Fund award. Mr. Biden referred to the NAACP as the NAC. This is what he said. Let me finish. And then with the president of Kenya, right, Mr. Debate, all of a sudden, he wants to debate because he sees that the race is over.
President of Kenya. Go ahead, finish your thought.
Right, the president of Kenya, he refers to Kamala Harris, the biggest joke in the country, the vice president.
The president of Kenya said that?
No.
I'm lost.
No.
Joe Biden said it about...
No, I'm saying, that Kamala Harris is the biggest joke in the country, right? So the president of the United States, yet again and yet another gaffe, referred to Kamala Harris as the president of the United States of America.
The first black vice president
is a joke
in the history of the United States.
Is a joke,
and I think a lot of black Americans probably take pride in that. But let's talk a little bit.
You know what? I guarantee you, a lot of black Americans, they're not going to say it the way I will, but they agree with me.
Well, you are the voice.
There are some things in the black community. Let me just finish. Yeah. There are some things in the black community that we don't admit it publicly, but we shake our head and we go, Lord.
Let's go.
And can I just finish? And do you know what that means, Mr. Weiner?
I can't answer to this.
When we shake our head and go, Lord, that means that we're glad that one of us got an opportunity, but Lord, that individual is embarrassing us to death.
All right, fair enough. Let's talk a little bit about what... First of all, I was going to say something nice about Donald Trump. One of the reasons why a lot of these rappers gravitate to Donald Trump is clearly this because they think they're going to get a pardon if they do it. But let me say this. Let me finish my thought, Dominic.
When I was in the office, why did Lil Wayne
Dominic,
this is before he was the president. Why did Lil Wayne call him?
I want to talk to a little...
Can you answer why Lil Wayne called him before the president?
Can I first finish saying the nice thing about Donald Trump? You stopped me from...
something that's true.
I'm going to.
Okay,
I'm
go
going
ahead.
to.
Go ahead.
His work on the First Step Act, which was to finally say that people are over-incarcerated. A lot of people are in prison for long periods of time that don't deserve. As someone who served time in prison, he gets a lot of credit for that, and I think a lot of rappers support him for doing I think Kim Kardashian was behind that,
You
and other people.
mentioned Obama.
Good for him.
Obama started to open the door, but he didn't go as far as Trump went.
Correct.
So you're admitting in that area.
I
Trump
would have
is
liked to see.
better.
There was a
No,
proposal.
can you answer in that area?
I am. I'm going to do
no,
it.
No, you want to give me this long-winded version.
I'm going to interrupt your question. I'm going to give you the answer.
Go ahead,
At the
Counselor.
end
Go
of the
ahead.
Obama administration, there was a proposal to do thousands of pardons on his way out the door to help these people out, and he didn't do it. I think he should have. Anyway.
But
all right,
see,
but
notice you didn't answer my question.
I thought he just did about Obama.
No, my question was, see, I want to hear you give Trump credit.
I said Donald Trump deserves credit.
No.
You do.
In that area, did he do better than Obama? That's what I asked you.
In the area of criminal justice
Yes,
reform?
yes.
Soros-based prosecutors and everything else?
Here we go.
Yes, I think Donald Trump was an important part of the criminal justice reform.
You still haven't answered my question.
What?
Did he do better than Obama? That was for the fourth time.
No.
That was the question.
No, he didn't. He didn't do anything better than Obama.
Okay, all right.
As a matter of fact, I don't think any Republican president's ever done anything better than a Democratic president. All right, so let's, with the possible exception of Reagan on Israel, was better than Carter on Israel. So I'll say that.
All right.
But let's talk about the crazy words your guy said. Let's start with a few.
We haven't said
What
five
was
words
that?
good.
What was that?
We haven't said 5 words
All right, say the good words. Go ahead, let's set up.
No, I want to hear you say them.
5 words.
The people know that I can give Trump credit. I want to hear Mr. Weiner give him credit.
About the stuff he said?
Yes.
He was borderline incoherent. I don't know what the heck he was saying most of the time. He was talking about things that weren't true. He was saying things. He was talking about. Did you see him wander off? Talk about an old uncle. Do you see him wander off and talk about Levittown for about 20 minutes, knowing what the hell he was talking about?
I can tell you exactly what he was talking about,
Go
and
ahead.
everyone else. When he referred to Levittown,
Yes.
Mr. Weiner.
He was talking about Levitt, this guy Arthur Levitt.
Right.
Arthur Levitt
So
Levitt.
be fair about it. He set up the story to say pursue your dreams, and that you have to. You asked what was he talking about?
I know, but I'm
Levittown.
saying.
I'm trying to tell you.
I know, but I heard the
No.
thing.
So now that I can tell you, you don't want to hear it.
I didn't interrupt you. I'm just looking at you quizzically as everyone else is listening to staring at their phone right now.
So you're the one that brought it up. Can I tell you what he was talking about?
Yes, you can.
Right. See, you were hoping that I didn't know, but I do know what he was talking about. So let me tell you. I'm gonna give it to you in an abbreviated 30-second.
I'll believe that when I see it, but go ahead.
Okay, fair enough. So he was advising the audience of always pursue your dreams and know the importance of timing, that you've got to ride your timing while you have it. And he used the Levittown example, to show that he has the timing right now, that it's his time in the presidential race. And he referred to Mr. Levitt, who was one of the biggest builders ever, that built Levittown and places throughout the country like that, but then sold to a corporation, did other things, and then came back and then lost everything.
And what's the lesson for our audience?
I'm at the finish. And he was at a party with Trump was at a party with Mr. Levitt and a lot of important people. And he said to him, he sat down with him and said, what happened to you? How did you lose everything? And he said the lesson that he learned with that from that day was to basically pursue your dreams and understand the importance of timing. I think that a message before Black people and Latino people
the timing
in
piece?
the Bronx,
How do you
meaning that you've got to excel, you've got to go forward.
But what's the timing part about Levitt?
Okay, you mentioned Obama. How Obama got elected. The media said we want to make a Black man the president.
What was Levitt? What did Levitt do?
I'm trying to tell you. The media said, Obama walks on water. He does no wrong. We want to make this Black man president. Maybe that's a good thing, right? Maybe. Of course, I can argue the other side, but Obama took advantage of his timing. It was his
Sounds
timing.
like Dominic Carter was drinking whatever Donald Trump was drinking the other day.
He did not have a record as it related to the Iraqi war. He was able to hit Hillary Clinton. And
you are so wandering off the reservation.
And you still haven't said a single word nice about Donald Trump and that historic rally.
Just play the tape.
Bronx.
I said several nice things about him. Anthony Weiner on the left, Dominic Carter on the right. We'll be right back. So welcome back to Left versus Right. Anthony Weiner on the left, Dominic Carter on the right. If you miss any part of the show, you can get it as a podcast. And please listen to Dominic on his show. But you can also listen to Dominic. You've been filling in at 3 o'clock recently. You've been getting a weekend show. They used to say ABC meant always broadcasting Curtis. Now it's always broadcasting Carter around here.
The point about knowing when your timing is
exactly.
Right.
Good for you.
So I thought during the commercial break, by the way, you had a great show, as you do.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Every Saturday. I thought in the commercial break you were going to hit me in my eye again.
Incorrect.
Because you're losing every argument and you're not even putting up a good fight.
Why do you think Eric makes the table this long? So we're like one arm's length away from each other. And for those of you wondering why we keep referring to the way it looks in here, you can follow us also on YouTube. It comes out shortly after the show comes out on the air. All right, let's pick this up a little bit.
TikTok.
It's on TikTok also.
No,
that's not what you're saying?
The point. TikTok. I'm waiting for you to finally acknowledge that Donald Trump came to your territory, the territory of your people, and embarrassed the hell out of all of you because he exposed the Democrats as empty suits that have just pimped Black and Latino people for years.
I am glad he held the rally.
And that's why I am a registered Republican, because the Democratic Party left me a long time ago.
Fair enough.
Hey, Mr. Weiner.
It's appropriate.
Mr. Weiner, go. I know you ride the bikes a lot, right? You know, I give you credit for that.
Thank you.
I give you credit for that, you know.
All the city bikes are blue. That's why I wear them. That's why I ride them.
It makes sense. but look at our city. Look at just the other day.
I love my city.
Look at just the other day.
I love my city.
I love my city,
and I don't like when people come to town, strangers come to town and talk trash about it. Foreigners from Florida come to town.
Mr. Weiner, I know you saw the story the other day. The woman took her top off, only had on her bra, got under the train, and that's when she was arrested. This is the world. Every time,
I missed that.
In her bra.
I missed that.
And then I get on the subway.
Can I ask, what is the relevance of what she was wearing?
No. Then I get on the subway the other day. I call myself being a gentleman. I get up and give a migrant woman my seat because she has a newborn baby.
What do you mean a migrant woman? You quizzed her first?
Exactly what I said. And
did you quiz her about her immigration status before you gave her the seat?
Here we go. Democratic talking point. Let's try to slam Carter on the migrant issue.
You're telling a story.
So then the lady sits down.
And it started with a bra under a train.
And no, that was the first lady. That was the first lady.
This is
who happened to be African American.
This is the Donald Trump school of telling a story, by the way.
No. So then there's the second lady, the migrant lady. I get up. She sits down. She has the infant baby.
Says thank you.
Right. No, she didn't say thank you.
She should have.
That was a nice gesture. She just sat down, and I just happened to look, and next thing I know, she completely pulls her full breast out. And my first instinct was to look away, and then I looked and I saw the baby. She was breastfeeding, right? No disrespect. American women, as emails have said to me this week, American women would have a shawl or wouldn't do that on the subway to cover the fact that she's breastfeeding the baby. And you can see breasts, full nipple, and everything else.
Okay, first of all,
that's the Democratic New York, thanks to you and your buddies and this love of migrants that's pimping all of us.
Hold on a second.
Okay, one of the great things that Trump said at his rally.
My head's about to explode.
One of the great things he said at the rally, that the migrants are hurting Blacks and Latinos.
But did he take...
Wait, excuse me, let me just finish with this.
Really? I can't imagine it's going to end anytime soon.
Okay, you know what? Okay, so did you hear Trump? Did you hear Trump when he said...
No, I am not going to walk away...
Okay.
On second thought, I am going to walk away from the story about the migrant breastfeeding on the train and how that's a Democratic talking point. I have no idea what the Democratic position is on that.
Would she be here if you Democrats didn't give everything away?
How do you know where she was from?
Or how about Governor Hochul? How about Governor Hochul? Trump and he's the ringmaster and those clowns coming to the Bronx. Excuse me, Madam Governor, you just got the foot out of your mouth for saying that black kids don't know what a computer is in the Bronx.
Dominic.
And how about that, Mr. Weiner? I gave her a pass on that.
What kind of drugs did they give you for that eye operation? And are they still in your system?
Mr. Weiner, how about that? Let's talk about Governor Hochul.
No.
You don't want to talk about that.
Give me something to hold on. Give me a moment.
Kids in the Bronx,
give me a moment to catch up with you.
You like to sit here. You like to sit here week after week and be black man and try and put me into the corner.
No,
so answer, why did Governor Hochul make those two mistakes?
I'm going to catch up with you here. First of all, I don't think it's appropriate for you to be quizzing women on the train about whether they're migrants before you give them your seat. One. Two.
Did I say I quizzed her?
Yeah, unless she volunteered. I'm about
two. You're trying to get back to your point. This is what you're trying to do.
No, I'm trying to respond.
Democratic talking point. Let's push Dominic into the corner.
I don't have a talking point. I'm breastfeeding on the train. I must admit it.
How did he know she was a migrant?
How did you know, by the way?
Because every New Yorker knows what a migrant is.
Tell me about that.
Come on, Mr. Weiner.
Tell me more about
this game.
Please,
come on, Mr.
No, just expand on that a little bit. How we know someone's a migrant? How do we know someone's a migrant?
I'm
going to get to that, but you,
Mr. Migrant, every New Yorker Remember, and this is a problem. I'm glad you just went there. Remember at in J Street, downtown Brooklyn, where the two men got into it, the black man and the Latino man. The DA didn't prosecute the Latino man. He took the gun because the black man that was the aggressor thought that the Latino man was a migrant.
I have no idea. I have no idea.
Yeah, of course you don't. Of course you don't.
I have no idea.
Because the Democrats have ruined this city. You're ruining this country. But you did your little dance a second ago. But I'm going to do mine now. A change is coming. Trump is coming to America. Don't listen to this nonsense. You got to hold
your microphone closer.
Don't listen to this nonsense that Democrats tell you.
Democratic talking point on breastfeeding on the trains. I think we're against it. I don't know. I know there's a baby involved.
How did they get here, Mr. Weiner? And the criminals that came with them.
You already said you don't know.
How did they get here? How did they get here?
How did the baby get here?
No. We know how the baby got here. That's called pimping too. It's called make a baby so that the baby's born an American citizen and taxpayers are on the hook for the next 21 years.
Based on your in-depth investigation, you've determined that this woman is also a prostitute.
This is what you call a filibuster. Weiner still.
Wait a minute. It is a filibuster, Dominic. That I will admit. But it ain't a filibuster by me. I cannot get a word in edgewise because you're talking nonsense about women breastfeeding on a train.
Okay.
What does that have to do with anything?
Okay, you call Trump supporters at the Bronx rally bubbas. So
no, I also called them many of the cult followers. But go ahead. Get back to that.
So can you?
None of them were breastfeeding on the train. I don't think.
Can you please tell me?
Nor were they wearing bras under the train.
Where are you? The African American one.
Okay, African American one.
That was just about.
Can I ask you something? Can
you tell me something?
Anything, please. Anything to change the subject from this.
No. Trump at the rally.
Trump at the rally said something he's lied about over and over again. How crime in Venezuela is down 78% because they're all here.
No matter what I say, you won't give this man credit.
I've given him credit for the rally. I've given him credit for
I want to hear. So why are you giving him credit? No, all you did was a disguised credit for the rally.
I see. It's great. It's great. He spoke at the rally. It's great. But the words he said were not.
Why is it great?
It's because I love his rallies. They are fascinating examples of what people sound like when they're incoherent and have dementia. I love it. For example.
Wait. Do you have the nerve to use the word dementia?
Yeah, I just did. Dementia. Because he keeps talking about something that's not over and over again, things that are not true. That Levittown story got even crazier when you told it, but it was crazy when he told it. Then he gets up and says, I know, saying my name over and over again is not a debate. It's
dementia?
Yes. Let me give you an example.
That's the last word that you should
Can I give you an example?
Memo to White House from Weiner. We have a problem, Houston, with dementia.
Okay.
And you have the nerve to use that word with Trump?
The White House is not in Houston.
Right, it's not. That's a metaphor.
I know. You're doing a joke. You're doing a joke. I get it. But here's not a joke. Over and over again, he said it on the radio with John and Rita, he said it at the rally, that crime is down 78% in Venezuela because they've released their prisoners to the United States. Do you know that's not true? His campaign, even he admits that they have no source for that. He keeps saying it over and over again because you and your knucklehead followers of him hear the stuff that he says and they don't realize that the guy's lost it. Right. Okay, now, if you were to find out... Okay. But Dominic, here's what we can do for next week.
Go ahead.
You find me a source for that, and I will eat this table. The guy says stuff that he makes up.
He makes it up.
Yes. Do you admit he made that up?
He makes it up.
Do you admit he made that up?
Mr. Weiner.
So do you even care that he made it up?
Mr. Weiner.
I care about that stuff.
Mr. Weiner,
his cultists do not care.
So, Mr. Weiner, I guess the migrants that beat up New York City police officers on
What about that they closed Madison High School?
Excuse me, on 3 or 4 occasions. I guess those are...
wait. No, those guys were released, Dominic.
I guess those are honorable citizens.
Those guys...
don't believe me. Let's believe the judge that they reached a plea deal. Let me finish.
Dominic, Trump didn't say that at the rally.
The argument's not on your side, so you don't want me to talk.
Stick to the facts. Dominic, Trump didn't say that. If he said that, I wouldn't be criticizing him.
The judge herself said... As the Manhattan District Attorney, Alvin Bragg...
The judge didn't have a rally yesterday, buddy.
Can I finish? The judge said to one of the migrants, as they're negotiating the plea deals, where these... I won't use the word...
I won't vote for the judge then.
Excuse me. The judge said if you get arrested one more time for anything, jaywalking, hopping the train,
Right.
you are going to jail for a very long time. Does that sound like...
Did Donald Trump lie about the Venezuela thing?
Absolutely not. He told the truth.
Okay, he told the truth.
That's why you Democrats are so lost.
Time out.
That's
30
why
second
the
time out.
polling's on Trump's side.
Can we make a pact here that if you can find a source for that...
I don't have to. Ask any New Yorker.
No, that Venezuela's crime is down 78% because they released their prisons to the United States?
Okay, Mr. Weiner.
I mean, you can't just make stuff up. You're running for president.
Mr. Weiner.
That's why I like watching the rally.
Mr. Weiner, we're both New Yorkers, right?
We are.
New Yorkers.
So not like this guy. He's from Florida or something.
New Yorkers know what time it is. I tell you what, take your lame argument on this.
Yeah, which one?
And take my about.
I got a lot of lame
the
arguments.
Venezuela thing.
Should I take the one about breastfeeding also?
And take my argument and go ask.
What is your argument again?
Excuse me.
That immigration's bad.
No,
yeah, I get it.
No.
That you shouldn't breastfeed.
Trump is using stats that are accurate. Let me finish.
Okay.
Let me finish. Go ask 10 New Yorkers and see who they agree with more about whether or not these countries...
No.
Let me finish,
They don't get to decide if it's a fact is a fact.
Whether they have emptied their jails or not with their migrants sending them here.
Fine.
Are you going to deny that?
I'm going to go ask random people on the street or I can check it.
I might get a better response than what I'm doing here right now.
Yes. The point is when you are Donald Trump... All right, here's another reason why I love him. I'm glad he had a rally, giving him credit. Glad he had a rally. Looking into the camera, I'm glad he had a rally. So I can hear these other things. He says the subways haven't been cleaned since 1932. When was the last time you think Donald Trump was in a subway?
Maybe. I mean, he was the president.
Do you remember the subways in the 70s and 80s with the graffiti all over the place? They were a lot better than they used to be.
When's the last time Biden or Obama or Clinton was on the subway?
Good point. They probably haven't been in a subway either. But they're not giving rallies saying that they're hellholes.
Okay, but wait.
Don't badmouth my city. Don't badmouth my city.
Stop, Mr. Weiner. I know you have an affinity. You really do with the black community. You really do. And it's commendable. No.
I do. They've always been very kind to me.
It's commendable.
They've been very kind to me.
It's commendable.
Thank you.
But, Mr. Weiner, have you been to the 125th Street station in Lexington Avenue?
That's where I kicked off my campaign. Okay. That's my favorite subway stop. How do you know?
Yeah, were you above ground or below ground?
Always upstairs.
Okay, and that says it all. You upstairs. And if a candidate for mayor is coming in...
No, because then you get people coming and going when you're upstairs. When you're downstairs, you have to pick a platform. Come on, you know better.
If a candidate for mayor is holding an event there, do you think it's going to be cleaned up or not? If a candidate for mayor is coming?
Well, I was running against the incumbent at the time, so they didn't do anything to help me out.
Especially against an incumbent, they're going to clean it up, and police are going to be there.
I'm on the subways literally every day. When I'm not on a city bike, I'm on the subway.
No.
You don't need to ask.
I'm not talking about the subway downtown. I'm talking about where every time you get on the subway in the Bronx and in Harlem and in communities of color, you are taking your life into your own hands.
I take the air train to JFK. I take the trains all the time.
Mr. Weiner, Trump was dead on in his remarks in the Bronx about don't stand there with your mouth open.
I'm saying
about the subway system.
I don't like when people...
Mr. Weiner, you do know. You know, every time I get on the subway, I'm standing there praying that a rat doesn't run up my leg.
There's a big rat problem.
We
got rats in the city.
And the mayor of the city that hates rats but is not cleaning up the problem. Then he hires a rat czar
rats at
$200,000 a year.
Rats are a problem, man. We should hire a bunch of cats.
So then don't talk about it.
No. That's right. If you're Donald Trump, don't talk about it.
No. If you're criticize Eric Adams. And then, Mr. Weiner.
Let me ask you, Dominic.
Then, Mr. Weiner, you have the nerve to sit here and say, don't pat your head.
I'm just trying to get a word in, that's all.
No, you have the nerve to sit here and say that Trump is talking about the subway system. I know you see the homeless people every day, the mentally ill, that are talking to themselves, but yet they have a cell phone
my city has issues.
Defecated on themselves.
My city has issues.
And the entire train smells like feces.
Okay, my city has issues, no doubt about it, but I don't like it when candidates come to my city and badmouth the city. Do you?
If they're telling the truth, so be it.
Listen, our city's been through tough times. Our city's going to get better, whatever it is.
Translation, what you're really saying is keep it the Democratic way. And whoever dies, whoever falls by the wayside, so be it, as long as Democrats stay in power. That's what you're saying.
Fair enough. It's Anthony Weiner on the left, Dominic Carter on the right. We'll be right back for a conversation about the other big news, the trial. So welcome back to Left versus Right. We hope you're enjoying a peaceful, calm Memorial Day weekend. We're enjoying Left versus Right. Like I said, if you missed any part of it, you can get it as a podcast. All right, so there's news uptown, up in the Bronx. There's also news downtown. They're finally wrapping up this trial. By the time you and I sit down next, they will have been handed off to a jury. So we haven't really wrapped up the Cohen thing. We had spoken when Cohen was on the stand for the prosecution. Then he was on the stand for the defense. I thought he did great. I did okay. No, actually, I don't think he did great. It turns out he testifies to not only is he a liar, not only does he lie about lying, but he's also turns out he stole money from the Trump organization. You must be thrilled that they make the trial all about Michael Cohen, but I got news for you. He's not the one on trial. But go ahead, take your run at Michael Cohen.
Okay, let me give the audience my impersonation of Anthony Weiner, since he just said absolutely nothing of substance.
That was a setup. I'm setting you up.
Okay, so this is Dominic Carter doing Anthony Weiner.
All right, I'm going to do Dominic Carter doing me. All right, go ahead. Go ahead.
So, Dominic, why won't
Wait a minute,
Trump...
wait a minute. Cole, won't you admit something about an immigrant and having a breastfeeding? Won't you admit it?
You scared the hell out of me.
Sorry, man. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
But
how do you think I feel?
So that's what I sound like.
How do you think I feel? No, you don't sound that bad.
Okay,
go ahead, keep going.
So Dominic, the trial's wrapping up. It's going to the jury. If Trump didn't have sex with Stormy Daniels, why didn't he take the stand and admit that he didn't have sex with Stormy Daniels?
I hadn't thought of that.
Mr. Weiner, now this is me doing myself. Mr. Weiner, excuse me, the case is not about that. And I know, Dominic, but why won't Trump take the stand and admit that he didn't have sex with Stormy Daniels?
So this is actually more... This is closer to the way the show usually is, where you set up a straw man. You say, I know you're going to say, and then you knock it down, and I just sit here quiet as a church mouse because you're doing both sides of the debate.
When are you ever quiet as a church
Well,
mouse?
how about this as a way to do it?
Okay.
They're going to have closing statements coming up next week.
Right.
Why don't you do the closing statement for the, who was first? The defense goes first, right? You go the closing statement for the defense. I'll do the closing statement for the prosecution, because I think the prosecution has a pretty good case, but it ain't perfect. I think the defense did a good job against Cohen. I'm not going to lie, because I don't like Cohen either.
Okay, so wait. We can get to the arguments. Why do you think the defense did a good job?
Because if there is an unpleasant person in that courtroom that literally nobody likes, it's Michael Cohen. Our side doesn't like him because for years he was a lapdog for a guy we don't like, and now he went to prison for lying. He lied before Congress. He's a bad dude. No one likes him. He's slimy. But so was Sammy the Bull Gravano when he testified against Gotti. When you're in a criminal conspiracy, you're going to be a criminal guy. So I am totally fine that this guy got his ears boxed in. He deserved it. He had to admit on the stand 1,000 times that he lied. But the thing is, the stuff that he said that seems completely consistent with everyone else in the trial.
Please don't use the word consistent and Michael Cohen.
Well, no, it was consistent with what everyone else said, is that the payment took place, Trump knew about it, Trump signed the checks, and Trump did it because he didn't want it to come out until after the election.
Notice you're leaving out that equation. You're leaving out one major witness that said exactly the opposite.
Who's that?
The defense witness, the lawyer, former prosecutor himself, that said
Costello, who said that
said the exact opposite.
No, he said that Cohen lied. He didn't have any first-hand knowledge. He said Cohen said Cohen lied.
He said that Cohen told him Trump had absolutely nothing.
Cohen said that to everybody during that period. He was covering. It's part of the. He was on the inside at that point.
So which Michael Cohen should we believe then? Which Michael Cohen should the jury believe?
You should believe the Michael Cohen that says I was a liar, I lied for Trump, I did slimy things for Trump, and now I'm coming clean. What do you think happens in a prosecution when they call someone from the inside the organization? Was Sammy the Bull Gravano a nice guy?
Notice I didn't respond to that the first time you said it.
I know, I'm surprised. I want to give it another chance.
Because the argument is weak. So let's look at the defendants, right? So Sammy the Bull is testifying against John Gotti.
Correct.
A mob boss.
Correct.
Michael Cohen is testifying against the former president of the United States.
I know. Both were involved in
oranges.
Criminal conspiracy. Criminal conspiracy.
That's what you want it to be.
That's what a jury's going to hear.
The jury that will probably get this case Wednesday, because we have the closing arguments.
Right.
About 48 hours. Well, Tuesday.
Well, first the lawyers have to listen to our show to find out what to say.
Right.
And then they're going to go do it.
Well, so now let me play your game. And the defense.
Yeah, let's hear it.
They're going to take as much time as they have. But you stand up, and the first thing that you say to the jury, you want me to actually do it?
Yeah, try it. Yeah, okay. I want to hear it.
No, not try it because I'm good at what I do.
Okay.
So if you want me to do it, and I told you if I had went on to law school after being accepted at Syracuse to their law school,
you would be great at anything you chose to do except answering a direct question. Go ahead.
You're buttering me up. And what lawyer you know answers a direct question? They'll talk for hours on billable hours.
Anyway, go ahead.
And then bill you up to the 15 minutes if they go a minute into the next.
We have a lot of lawyers
spot.
who listen to our show. Don't insult them all.
Good for them. Okay, so I would say something like this. You are in a historic position. You are hearing a case that's never been done before to any other defendant in the state of New York, but this time it involves the former president of the United States of America. A former president that, okay, well, I'm not going to say his accomplishments, but against the former president of the United States. Ask yourself, where's the crime? Where's the beef? Where's the crime? They paraded in front of you a witness, Stormy Daniels, and you do the attack and then you clean it up on her. What you really want to say is a porn star, but then you got to clean it up. So a witness that's a porn star that has made millions off of this alleged relationship with the former president of the United States of America, a relationship that to this day he denies. My client, I don't know if I would address why he didn't take the stand, but my client did not take the stand because the lawyer can't say the deck is stacked against him. But that's what he wants to say.
You can hear. You can say it for our audience.
Okay, so if I can say it for our audience, this was not a fair trial from day one. From day one. And who's the people's star witness? And then you go into destroying Michael Cohen. And that's basically it. And then you close with, I thank you for your time over the last 5 weeks. I apologize to you that you have had to be here listening to this nonsense.
So you don't do any of the facts in the law.
But at the end of the day, this man is not guilty.
Okay, that's very persuasive.
You have to go by the law, and almost like a Johnny Cochran. If the glove don't fit,
fair
you
enough.
must acquit.
Well, I appreciate it, and I want to say to my learned opponent that was an excellent closing. But if you notice there, I'd say, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, there was no reference to the law or the facts in this case. It was all about you shouldn't prosecute this guy. Look, you believe that he had an affair or don't believe an affair. Not really that important. You believe Michael Cohen's a good guy, a bad guy, a lawyer, a liar or not? Not really that important. If you believe these following things have been proven. One, that there was a check that was given to this person to keep her story quiet. One. Two, that it was done when it was done for the purpose of not having it come out before the election, having it come out after the election. And three, that Donald Trump was aware of that and how it was being handled. You've got to convict the man because those things really were not disputed. The checks, the signature, that no point did someone say that wasn't Donald Trump's signature. At no point did they say that they didn't cut this check. At no point did they say that they didn't write it down and call it legal fees. The only question is Donald Trump, was he kind of in on it? And it's very clear, everything you heard in his book, everything you heard from Hope Hicks, everything you heard from his controller, this guy didn't let a dime go out without knowing exactly where it was. When there was a fake poll that he didn't want to pay for.
Can't use that as argument.
Which part?
What you just said about him knowing every dime.
No, we had other testimony.
Because I don't mean to interrupt your argument.
You can.
But you can't use that because Michael Cohen admitted from the same funds he stole an extra $60,000.
No, but I'm saying,
and so if Trump was so in control of his money and knowing every detail, how did he not know about the $60,000?
All I can say is that you had the controller, a loyalist to Trump, say the guy never let a single dime out of his face. Hope Hicks saying this guy followed every little fact in detail. You had his own words in his book saying, I never let a dime go out that I didn't need to. And you had him saying, I'm not going to pay for a poll because they didn't win it for me. Look, there's evidence. The point I'm making, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, like Cohen, don't like Cohen, like Stormy, don't like Stormy. There's laws in this state. And my learned friend said, we've never had a case like this. All the time, people get prosecuted for filing false statements in furtherances of other crimes. So what's the other crime? The other crime is there is a way that you spend money when you want to influence a campaign. This is not it. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, do your will. I believe in this country. I believe in the United States of America. I believe in the United States of America. Convict this man because no man is above the law. Wow,
Bravo.
Thank you
Jury
very much.
comes back 2 or 3
Hung
days
jury, you think?
later. I'm about to tell you.
Okay.
Bravo on the prosecution's closing argument. Bravo on having Judge Merchant as your wingman, the sixth man coming off the bench for the prosecution. 2 against 1.
Wait a minute.
Bravo.
Didn't he let Costello testify?
Bravo. Yeah, and look how well that went. Are you staring me down?
The judge said...
Clear the court. Clear the court.
The judge said...
Court.
Wait a minute. The judge said, and by the way, you see the appellate court said that all of the challenges that Trump has made were not sustained.
That's the appellate court. We'll see what the Supreme Court says if it gets to that level.
No. That's not the way we do it in New York, as you know. The Supreme Court's the lower court. The appellate court is the higher court.
Okay.
But let me just finish this.
Of course, it's a hung jury.
Why?
It's not outright acquittal. I don't think.
How are you letting me get away with not making a prediction, though?
Oh, no,
I said I would at the end of the trial.
So let's get to it.
I think it might be a hung jury. No, actually, look. I think they prove the case. I think they prove the case. I will concede this thing, and don't hang it around my neck. I will concede that there were no witnesses that talked about.
Wait, look at me, Mr. Weiner.
Yeah, I believe it.
I'm not going to say anything.
You are. Yeah, sure.
5 weeks of arguing with you over this trial.
Let me just
I told you in the first 2 minutes a hung jury, and now you say the same thing. So I'm just going to zip my lips.
Here's my only concern.
I'm not going to say anything. I'm going to go to the Bronx, and I'm going to find some real black people and some real Latino people to show up to the next Trump rally. Then I'm going to say President Biden is coming to town, and they're going to say, you can't pay me to show up for Biden.
You're so good at spotting illegal migrants. Why don't you just go into the train and round them all up for us?
You missed the part about the lady pulled out her breast on
you
the
think I missed that part?
In front of me, and I'm looking, there's a nipple in front of me, and the baby's sucking the nipple.
Clearly.
And I'm looking at a woman's nipple, and I'm so uncomfortable. I'm on the train.
I'm more uncomfortable than I am right now.
Does this migrant realize that she could end up getting raped for doing this? But I'm done with that. I'm not going to let you get away from the Trump trial.
Believe me, no one wants to get away from the subject of the migrant nipple more than me.
Don't turn red. Tell us why it's going to be a hung jury.
Look, here's the one thing. The one thing you left out in your summation was there were no witnesses on the stand who testified to the second crime.
I was about to say that.
They alluded to it, but there was no. So now it's going to be the judge who's going to have.
I'm trying to cover for you.
I appreciate it, pal. So now it's going to have to be the judge in his instructions. They're going to say that if you believe.
So the sixth man off the bench, Scottie Pippen and Michael Jordan, they've given all they got. And so they have nothing left.
If he gives wrong jury instructions, it'll get overturned.
In terms of, I'm referring to Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen.
I know.
They're the Chicago Bulls.
I don't know anything from the Chicago Bulls. I'm a New York guy.
And they're out of energy. They don't have anything left to give to this case. So now they got to turn to the sixth man off the bench. And now coming in for the Chicago Bulls to falsely put Donald Trump in jail,
Dominic,
is Judge Merchant.
You know, Dominic,
bravo. The sixth man off the bench, the judge.
You and I, we go way back. We've been doing this for a while. I have never seen you so out there as you have been during this hour.
Because you know why?
You're all over the place.
No, you know why?
You just did a minute about the 1986 Chicago Bulls.
You know why? You know why? Because I thought this was the week.
This was the week?
You would sit here and go, damn. Trump outdid us in the Bronx.
Well, I don't think it's that week.
Trump is going to
not that
win
week.
the presidency. Trump is going to walk on this trial.
But for those of you,
are the three things. See, I know you conveniently want to point out that we're out of time, right?
No.
You want to get to Vinnie Montevideo and the music.
I don't point out time.
And
God
you
makes
want to
time.
move on. You want to move on.
I will say this. To our listeners,
right?
If you had
jury.
naked migrant breast on your bingo cards this week, you deserve to win. It's so great. Well, we have a little bit more time. I was hoping to get into
How would you feel if you're on the subway?
I would feel
come on, man.
I think it's always awkward when women breastfeed, but I don't. But
on the train,
they have a right,
and on the seat
very
right
often,
next to the door.
Very often, they're not in control of when they can do that, and there's a child involved.
American women pull out a towel, shawl to cover the breast up. Every man on the train.
We are just not qualified to have this conversation. You and me. We're not women who are breastfeeding.
Right, because they wouldn't be here if your people didn't let them in the country.
That's the migrant question. But you're saying that people shouldn't breastfeed and when. I don't know. That this was not on our rundown. I need more preparation to have this conversation. It's Anthony Weiner. Weiner on the left, Dominic Carter on the right. If you missed any of it, get it as a podcast. Stay tuned for Vinny Meduno. Happy Memorial Day.
Go, Vinny.